Hello. Okay, so this is going to be the language of light. Might actually be the language of dark. No. Activation. Continuing on in the vein of ego death. This was specifically requested, and I said, oh, well, synchronistically enough, I was going to do one for the very thing from Medusa. This is not a commonly worked with deity these days. She's like Kali in that she's maligned in a certain sense, but has a very positive, purgative, purifying effect when it comes to things like ego death, which many of us are searching for. I've been spending the last several minutes with her, and she seems to think that there's not really adequate words to describe. She doesn't have a message. It's very much coming from the void. The closest I can get to is that this being is beyond time and space, which most are, you know, but what I mean by that is like it can't be defined in time and space, but it is a sort of apparition that happens in the void, that she is a harbinger of sudden ego severance. There's an experience that you can have while meditating, while doing anything, while walking, if it suddenly just decides to happen to you because the universe deems it's appropriate, where you feel insane, like something has snapped, something has just changed or shifted, and you're not exactly sure if you're in the same universe. You're perceiving things completely differently. You think in a way, and you see in a way, you perceive in a way that is completely different from the way you were perceiving and thinking and feeling and seeing before. This particular one has to do with severance of ego. If you know the story of Medusa, if you stared into her eyes, which were portals into the void, you would be frozen. Another aspect of the Medusa mythos is, I don't think this applies so much, but it is significant in a way that her head was cut off. And then she was still used on the end of a shield, I forget whose it was, to add power to that person's shield and to defeat enemies in battle, so that if they saw her face, they would be petrified or frozen. Both of those things or themes are significant because every time I contact her, there's this kind of like, there's this like cut point here. She doesn't like coming down into the heart or anything. She's all very much up here, but it's sort of like it's split off in a way. It's split off, and that's where she dwells. And so I get the sense that we're dealing with not only older serpent reptilian currents that are still, of course, present in the brain, in older parts of the brain, which we would sometimes just refer to as the violent tendencies or whatever, which is not necessarily true, but older aspects of our consciousness that are still relevant. She gets all of that. And there is an ego transcendence or severance in retreating into those now neglected parts of our brains. So, this is going to be very creepy. So if you're uncomfortable with these types of energies, don't watch this video. It's more shamanic. She tends to speak very slowly, and it's gonna be weird, so bear with me, okay? Let's see if my music is still... Yeah, we got time.
Sinsim quiuco nene derezeo patancaninaria macosta naya karat. Mezete pavaso tem gogayangara mobongoyangara namariat. Imijoko isinum koko isisum gomayanchine nonomkianiat. Si sumo sapa feo kovazia sisam kumaishtinde kara homo goya keretsi de pokoma jinde dere godino da mazde kema Ova istio como bantana kane ano no ishtin hamakaya kriat Gizimo kumbariano karana istio jamekiano Ovovastim goedi de keretsetim kopopongariachtina Yamaz dio taboku kungoingara namachiniano guriamukaya Osiakunik yonsamatayanarakat Yamizdingo anjnim goria damukoetinar Mizdim koi kostanakniana Amstio goilira daratsim guamarat Gingaratsim kopai kanai Moždijon gomoreti anarkatstia. Gomazdin gamagayan shtanariat. Mazdin kizim kubobo angayangara. Hemizdiko nanaratsion gomashnaryanaret. Ozdingo kurium goriandaratio koyana. Sumachenu dagratski naratsamo koya hastian goyanarapatia. Стену гумбайкина родец, кубарацитяте комайштин иракрабарят. Анаратсаму курят стиу побождин кутимото безкяна хамарьян, а возьма камаря до божден нагрен аргецгида батикиня мояна. Увистинго матарин наргаратсаматин карамадокрада ятарабчкинин наргадя, уазмуго мугаря дагргацкидин дати мачикидо доди азакадемука багянцкидино карабаничанара. Юмго моя наранта янгарат, ямуго ямагорян крандарат, наняцкудано гадрацкадо машингадин нагадрацкидин радкари мачикинин арцити бикуки сатакамукая докаранстана моя. Куранстана моя, кранстана макая нагарат.
Drink lots of water.